And now, the new caribou, the Honorable Sir David, Emperor of Salt Lake City, Sultan of Utah, Spiritual Advisor to Questioning Mormons, the Bard Extraordinaire, Supreme Being, Alpha and Omega. Here's David.
Hello, this is Sir David the Bard. Thank you for your applause and your entrance. I'm here in the private studio. It's called Kangaroo City down here in Australia, and most of the clapping that you heard were by the kangaroos. I've become quite popular down here. Now, let me do a video, please, that will save the lives of my children. Damn! Being a parent, have you ever fantasized? Now, I don't mean do it. I don't mean even think seriously of doing of what weapon you're going to use. But has it just ever crossed your mind, damn, that's a stupid child. It can't be my genetics. You know, I have two beautiful adopted girls from the Philippines, and my wife is Filipino. And my two girls, Allison is 10, 2 or 3 weeks, and Abby just turned 14. Now, the 10-year-old, I can still handle a little bit. She only takes a whip, a big bull whip, and Velcro against the wall, and a little super glue, and a little bit of Gorilla Glue. She'll stay in her room. Now, the 14-year-old, God dang. Is there just something that comes out of heaven that says, you hate your parents? You hate everybody except yourself. Everything is for you in this world. Never share, be narcissistic, and be mean. Go in your room and shut your door and pretend you're asleep under the covers, listening to your music and watching your iPad, PodPad, I don't know. I don't know what she watches, but something she's doing under there that has a light on it. Anyway. This is another Deseret Industries story. Now, I know, you people, you've been so kind to the mentally ill. None of you have ever said, you stupid asshat, why do you keep going back to Deseret Industries? I appreciate that. It's like being in a mental institution. You don't come in and go, hey, are you still acting crazy? You don't do that. So, being mentally ill, I still go over to DI because I think somehow the Mormon Church is going to pay me back for the shitload of life I've had with them. They're going to look at me on the Bard show and go, oh God, look what we've done to that guy. Give him $1 million of people's tithing money. We take it, why can't he? So I keep going over with the damn hopes that DI camera, I know it comes on. As soon as I go into the room, they all go, the Bard! The Bard! And the camera starts whirling around. Hi. I'm not the Bard. I'm his twin brother. See my garments? Anyway, I go into DI the other day, and my wife went with me because she's breaking. She's breaking. She's still LDS, but you know what's breaking her, Mormon Church? Is your hatred of the gays. She hates the gays too. She was just born that way in the Philippines, hating the gays and the Chinese. They hate the Chinese because the Chinese do so much better than the Filipino people do. Well, I asked her this morning at breakfast, I said, when you see two gay men getting married in the Mormon temple, will you resign then? She said, yes. I said, okay, you may be in the atheist crowd in the next year or so. So anyway, I hope I live long enough to see that. She came up when my friend was doing my introduction and my closing to my show, which I just tickled to death with. Damn, it makes me look so damn important, and I'm just an old man sitting in a closet. It makes me look like New York and Australia and the whole world's clapping. God damn. It makes me look Mormon. It makes me look image. He must have something to say. I don't. I don't. But thank you, my friend, for making me feel good for a day. Reminds me of my first wife. That was about it. Anyway, getting back to whatever it was here. Oh, Deseret Industries. So, my wife is braking, and she says, don't go to Deseret Industries. The Mormons are going to rip you again. And I said, well, they can't be that mean. She looks at the ground and goes, they are! I go, I can't believe it. I'm naive. They test everything over there. They tell me they tested, even though the receipt says no money back, no exchanges, and screw you, and you just got screwed. It doesn't matter that that's on the receipt. Well, I go over, and I'm kind of, looking through. I didn't see any more dildos. I think they watch my show and go, hey, those vibrator things they do use for masturbation, and we hate masturbation. So anyway, I have diabetes. I've told you guys, I have diabetes. I have bipolar disorder for 30, 50 years, and I have diabetes, bipolar, and I've had quad bypass surgery. Now, other than that, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, folks. Jesus has made me the man I am today. Pay me, lay me, ail me. Anyway, I go to DI, and I take my sweet wife with me, and a lot of times she goes, I'm sitting in the car because you're going to buy crap in there. I go, whatever. At least it's not going to be expensive crap. So, I go in, and she comes in, and we're looking around, and we always find shit that we shouldn't buy, that we don't need, but we didn't think we needed it. Well, with this diabetes, 2 of my feet are falling off. The third one I hop on. So I'm saying to myself, 55 gallons of insulin a day ain't doing it. Mr. Foot is going to go... It's going to go. So, anyway, I said to her, honey, I've seen these foot massage things. Now, I have a little jacuzzi that I put in the house, and I love to sit in that, and I built it like a jungle. Now, I'm bipolar. Screw you people. I have a jacuzzi that has vines all over it, has monkeys in the vines, and I have recorded music of the birds singing, and a lit bird cage, another bird cage where I can put a bird in it, but she won't let me yet. And it's gorgeous. I mean, and it's mirrored. It's totally mirrored, 365. And I can look in there, and I'm no thinner when I look left or when I look right, and I have no more hair. So anyway, I love the jacuzzi, and I sit in the jacuzzi every day. I love to sit in the jacuzzi. So I said to her, honey, I think I need a foot massage. This is a medical issue. Now, see, anything I want that I really want is a medical issue. Well, we got an argument the other day that I wanted to be like Joseph Smith and marry a couple of 14-year-olds. And I said, it's for medical reasons, honey. It's not for pleasure. It's for somebody to snuggle at night and keep my feet warm from being diabetic. Well, the Filipino women don't have that much of a sense of humor. Don't pull that shit with them. Yeah, I was on the couch and had cold feet. So anyway, we're walking through there, and I look over, and I see 600 water foot massage machines. I said, honey, they must have known I was coming. No one else ever knew, but anyway, I said, honey, look, there's so many machines there, I can choose different ones. And she said, well, how are you going to test it? I said, well, I can plug it in and see if it vibrates and it works, but I can't put any water in it to see if the heater is going to work. But God, look at them. Some of them are beautiful, and it looks like they've never been used. Well, there's the DI slogan. It's never been used. Well, it has. So I see this word I know, Con Air. Con Air, I don't think is an airline. I think it's a company. It's been around a long time, like Harley Davidson. Well, the Con Air had a plastic over the top, had 3 buttons. Man, it looked like a computer. Hot, vibrate, not vibrate, spray, don't spray, turn on the TV. It had a whole foot thing there and a finger thing to operate it. So I go, well, hey, couldn't have been a poor person that bought this. And she looks at me and goes, holy shit, are you going to buy that? I said, well, my feet, that feels better when I soak them in hot water, put a little Epsom salts in there and watch, I love James Bond. I used to think I was James Bond when I had MPD. But anyway, when I took meds and got away from that James Bond thing, the meds helped a lot. So anyway, I said, yeah, I'm going to buy it. Now there's a priesthood decision right there. It's for medical reasons. Every month you keep me alive, you get another retirement check. Ain't that worth? She goes, well, yeah, you put it that way. But I still have to live with you. I go, shut the door. If I'm sitting in the bedroom with my feet in the jacuzzi, a wash water thing, shut the door. I can't come running out. You know me, I'll fall down. So, all right. How much is it? Now she's so cute. She's so cute. How much is it? And I said, in pesos or dollars? She doesn't think that's funny. This girl has no sense of humor other than she is married to me. That is her sense of humor. So anyway, she said, dollar. Today's exchange rate. I didn't know there was an exchange rate every day. So anyway, it was $4. Now, I'm not a rich man. I'm the fiddler on the roof. I wish I was a rich man. Holy doody-doo. I can't remember what he said. I love that show. It's a fun show. So anyway, I said, well, let's go up and pay for it. And we did. And of course, in Deseret Industries, you don't ask for a discount. Mormons don't give money. They take money, but they don't give it. So when I said, do you have a senior discount? Yeah, we add 10% to the price of the item, and then we deduct that. I go, oh, okay, I'll take it. I thought it was a deal for a few minutes till I got home. Well, I bring it home, and, man, I take a polished rag to it. I like to fix my shit up. I don't like crap around me. So I polished it all up and got it ready and plugged the damn thing in, and it's vibrating and blowing, and I got something at Deseret Industries that works. So I put it in front of my throne, my chair, and I said, Allison, come in here and get Daddy 2 big glasses of hot water, and we're going to pour it in this machine. So, you know, she's such a little slave. I just love that child to death. I have 2 girls that with so different personalities. Allison is so vivacious and outgoing and sharing and serving, and my other girl is just the opposite of that. I'm not going to bring it up. Anyway, so I get my foot in there and put little Epsom salts in the air, and I'm sitting there, and she's pouring that hot water in there. I turn it on. Damn! It's vibrating and massaging, and, you know, it felt like 1,800 Filipino girls in there just doing my foot. Hey, this is a good deal. So, about 20 minutes later, I said, Allison, I'm always doing it. That's why I have an intercom that says, Allison, Daddy needs you. I'd be dead without Allison. Abigail's pretty good, too, that way. So she comes in, what's the problem now? And I said, well, honey, it went cold. She said, did you turn the hot button on? Now, this kid knows me. I said, yeah, 2 or 3 times. So she goes down and she turns the hot button on. She goes, where'd you get this? My 9-year-old's going to beat me up. And I said, DI, Deseret Industries, the Mormon church. And she goes, don't you know they hate you? And I go, well, yeah, but they didn't know I was going to buy this. And they go, yes, they did. The heater doesn't work, Dad. So I go, oh, shit. Now, the jacuzzi's right there in the bedroom. And so I said, well, honey, could you pick it up? I'll unplug it. And then you pick that big, heavy sucker up and take it over to the jacuzzi and throw it in the water in the jacuzzi. She goes, okay. And and then she comes back, and then she puts 2 more glasses of big hot water in it, so I can sit there for another 20 minutes. I'm saying, well, it costs $4. Hell, the Mormons are getting me again. Every time the water goes cold, I think my rectum tightens up, and I start to think of the Mormon church. Well, we have this new thing in the house where we share the responsibilities of Dad. Which are heavy responsibilities. So I told my 14-year-old, you know, the 9-year-old ain't the slave here. We're not doing Filipino slaves in this house. You're going to do half the work. You know, okay. After I threatened to take some of her money. God, the kid's got more money than I ever had. Anyway, I called her down and I said, Abigail, come on down here. Daddy wants his foot thing to go. Okay. So she comes down, put the salt in there, she puts the 2 hot waters in there, and I'm going, hey, It's making my children work, but damn, it's only $4. So, my feet go cold again. I go, Abigail, come down here. Change the water. Okay. So she comes down, and I said, now, just pick the whole thing up, throw it into the jacuzzi, let it drain, and then come back and we'll fill it. Well, I was already filling the jacuzzi for a jacuzzi bath, so it was like half full. So my 14-year-old, the one that has no common sense, the one that will never become 15, takes the damn foot wash jacuzzi machine. She dumps it into the jacuzzi water. That's okay. Then she takes the whole jacuzzi machine, cord and everything, and submerges it into a proxy baptism. Well, my wife was standing there beside me. She says, well, Mr. Bard. And I said, it's Sir David, the Honorable Sir David the Bard. She said, Mr. Asshat. I go, yes, you're still a Mormon. She said, I'd like to use the foot massage machine. Okay. So Abigail picks this thing up, the total machine, submerged like the Titanic, coming up from the depths of hell. And I look at Abigail, how did you get that water in there? She said, well, I just put it underwater and it filled right up. Well, now Mercy and I are looking at each other, and here's what's funny. I've had 14 kids. I wish I never did. There's 7 or 8 of them that are in a cult, and I don't even want to hear or see them again. Their lives are total failures. The others are coming along okay. Now, children will do this. Go up to your room. You hate me. No, I don't hate you. You just submerged my foot massage electrical appliance in the water. Go to your room. And kids will go, you're not my real father. Now, here's what's funny shit. It's true. She's adopted. Little, you're not my real father. What can I say? Yes, I am, or I wish I wasn't. There's nothing to say. She's adopted, and she knows it. So she works me there. She works me. So now, I've learned as an old father, when I go up to your room. Why? Because you submerged my jacuzzi foot bath underwater. It's an electrical appliance. Well, I don't want to go to my room. Well, you're not my real daughter. Go to your room. It goes both ways, folks. It goes both ways. You're not my real dad. You're not my real daughter. So, anyway, she brings it out, and she puts it down in front of my chair where I always sit and put my feet in it. Now, she leaves the room on the end of my boot, and we shut the door because when Mercy and I are going to yell, we always shut the door, but the kids open the windows upstairs in our house, and we have a funny house that way. Anyway, Mercy looks at me and she said, I don't think I'm going to stand in that thing. I said, why not? Just get some water, fill it up, plug that sucker in, stand in it. She says, well, I'm from the Philippines, but I ain't that stupid. I'll be Indian dancing, standing in there. I said, all right, you're a chicken. She said, well, I am. Why don't you put your feet in there? I couldn't think of anything to say other than, do you think I have shit for brains? If I put my feet in there, you won't get another check. You won't get another check from retirement. So she said, well, you don't know that. In the Philippines, we try everything. I said, damn. She, are you a coward? And I said, do you mean a chicken? She goes, no, we eat chickens in the Philippines. Are you a coward? I go, well, standing in an electric appliance in water that has just been submerged and plugged into 110 electricity, I guess I am. Praise the Lord. Pay, lay me, and ail me one. So, God, Deseret Industries tried to electrocute me. The bastards. They knew I had a stupid kid. They knew I had a kid that had no common sense. They knew I had a kid from a foreign country that didn't know you don't submerge electrical appliances. They knew how to get the Bard in his own house. And Mercy just looks at me and goes, why do you go to Deseret Industries? And I said, well, It gives me something to talk about on my show. She says, you dumb shit. I go, I know. So I'll call Abigail down again. Come on down here. You're not my real daughter, but I can still punish you. And so she comes down. I said, I want you to take that electrocution machine to the garbage, so nobody, including my 9-year-old, she'll plug it in and dance and think that it's a fun thing because the electric current goes through her body. She'll just think it's a dance. I go, no, get it out of the house. And Abigail says, okay, like it's no big deal. Now, as she's leaving the room, so I know I can get the door shut quickly, I said, and by the way, we're taking $4 out of your bank account to pay for that thing for DI. And I shut and locked the door. And you can hear this banging and the jacuzzi foot machine on the door, screaming and screaming. And she's as cute as can be. She's only 97 pounds. And she's only like 5 foot flat. Well, 5 foot. She'll kill me when she sees this video. I'm not going into there. I'm not going into the Joseph Smith stuff. So anyway, she was upset that she had to pay DI $4, and she hates them as much as everybody else does. But I still go over there. But I'm not going to stand in a DI electrocution water machine so that the Mormons can say, we got the Bard. He's fried like a piece of bacon. He was dancing for his life, and now Satan is going to keep him in the fire for the rest of his existence. So be careful buying stuff at DI, especially if it has a plug on it. Make sure you have lots of insurance. Thanks.